Tuesday, February 16th, 2021, day 2 of no power. We made our first mistake. We let the fire die out and went to bed, then cleaned out all the ashes before trying to light a new fire this morning. It was lunchtime before we actually got a decent little fire going. Trying to light a fire in a stone-cold fireplace with negative wind chill outside and 0 ashes to hold the coals? Good luck. We struggled to get it to draw and to not smoke into the room. That was the biggest struggle. It wouldn't draw. Finally, we got it. And I decided right then and there that I'm sleeping in the living room tonight to keep it from going out. We can't do this again. It was in the 40s in the living room when we came in here this morning. And we have the living room area blocked off from the rest of the house to try and contain the heat to one room. Today feels so much colder. I don't know that it is outside, but it feels much more frigid in the house. And not having that fire going, it's miserable. We are both really miserable today. We finally did get the fire going. I'm going to stay up tonight, and it'll make for a long night, but I don't care. We can't let it go out. Speaking of tonight, round 2 of winter storms. More sleet, more snow, and more freezing rain. Yes, that's right, all 3. Yay! We charged the phones a little more in Mr. Sandwich's car today. My car still won't crank. We started seeing online reports of no propane in some areas locally, that it's all sold out. Some people claim it's sold out everywhere and that you can't find it anywhere. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I'm almost inclined to believe that it is, really. We're also well aware of national news that Texas is making headlines for almost essentially going black. And we're aware of ERCOT, and that ERCOT has said that they'll be resuming rolling blackouts once there's actually some power generated that they can spread around to start rolling again. We brought in more wood today. We're trying to make a routine and keep things as normal as we can, at least inject some normalcy into our situation right now. I believe that's really important, and Mr. Sandwich agrees with me wholeheartedly. We get up, I make breakfast, we take care of hygiene, get dressed, check on the chickens, clean up, tidy up around inside the house, and then take care of any little chores or things that we think need to be done. Lunch today was chicken noodle soup, and it was fantastic, mostly because I got it piping hot and we were so cold. That piping hot soup was great. It really warmed us up on the inside because we still had no decent fire at that point. It wasn't putting out any good heat anyway. Today I also realized that I've been making mental lists of things to do, not do, change, add, subtract to our preps and for the future. Like, we've learned that we are using about 1 canister of butane a day, which is more than we originally thought we would be using. But I think we were looking at it as using it under maybe normal-ish circumstances or normal-ish weather. And we are absolutely not under normal circumstances or normal weather at this time. The majority of our fuel is going towards heating water. Because the water is so cold, it is so frigid, it's taking easily twice as long to boil. And I swear it's probably taking 3 times as long. It seems like, anyway. We boil it, and then we fill our thermoses and Yeti mugs with it to keep it warm, or at least try to, so that we can use it later for other things like hot drinks. And we're also using the hot water for hygiene, mixing it with a little bit of cold so we don't scald ourselves. Also using it boiling hot, using it to wash dishes, the few little bits of cookware and utensils that we are using. We aren't worrying about plates because we're using paper plates, so we just put those in the trash, of course. I'll be adding butane to my cart online so we can replenish what we've used and have some additional on hand for the future. Also, having a large quality thermos or a large carafe would be great. And you'll use batteries much faster than you think you will. We have the pop-up LED lanterns for camping. We use those for short-term use, and they're great. But I'm also really glad that we had just picked up a giant pack, 48-pack of batteries at Sam's Club not very long ago because we've just dipped into them. A radio will help you feel normal, and it's reassuring, or at least it is to me. We have a wind-up radio that also takes a battery, so instead of having to keep winding it, we just put a battery in and have been listening to that. It's nice to be able to turn on some music or have some little bit of noise in the background to make you still feel connected to society in some way, or connected to the rest of the world at least. We have Baofeng UV5Rs, and we went to the ham radio to listen to FM stations this afternoon because it was picking up signal more clearly than the wind-up radio was. We got really clear stations and enjoyed music all afternoon. It's also nice with the ham radios because I have NOAA programmed on our one of our channels, so we were able to just flip over and listen to weather report from time to time. Oh, and our water pressure seems to be dropping, or seems to have dropped steadily today. I'm not noticing it at the tap, where I noticed it was in the bathroom, like in the toilet. The water in the bowl just kind of keeps getting lower and lower and lower. So we may be using snow melt to flush here pretty soon, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I'll let you know. Addendum. I didn't include this in my original notes, so I'm adding it now after the fact. Around 5:30, as the weather was coming in that Tuesday, that snow, sleet, and freezing rain, I got a concussion. It was not a big dramatic accident. I hit my head on the back door when I went to call the dog in from outside. It was just kind of a freak accident. I was looking down and I pulled the door open and I was clear until I started to look up and turn my head at the same time. And when I did that, that's when the door made contact with my forehead. So I caught the edge of it on my forehead and bonked myself pretty good. I didn't see stars. I didn't see Tweety birds. I did not lose consciousness at any time. I have no amnesia. I remember everything very clearly. I didn't get sick, either at that point or any point afterwards. And basically, I did not exhibit any obvious signs of serious injury that you would normally look for. And I did assess myself after this happened. I do have medical training, so I assessed myself, which was kind of weird because I was aware that I did have a concussion. And there I was trying to doctor myself, I guess, to a certain extent. I made the decision not to go to the emergency room, and what factored into that decision, which was very scary to make that decision, was the weather, the treacherous roads, and also that I was not having any signs of something more serious going on other than just a mild, maybe a moderate concussion. It was not an easy decision to vocalize to Mr. Samich. He asked if I wanted to go, and I very much wanted to say, yes, let's go, let's hit it, jump in the car, you drive. But I didn't. I said, no, I don't want to go. Let's wait and see how tomorrow is. And he said, okay. He seemed reluctant, but he said, okay. I did give Mr. Samich a list of things to watch for in me, any behaviors, any changes that would indicate I was taking a downturn or that something was going on that did require urgent care. And he was under strict instruction that if I exhibited even one of these signs, even for a moment, that we needed to go and we needed to try carefully to get there. And he said, okay. Do I think we would have made it? No, I don't. I really don't. I do believe wholeheartedly, and I know in my heart that Mr. Samich would have done his absolute best to get me there. But because of the treacherous road conditions and the weather that was already coming in at that point and was going to just only make it worse, I wasn't going to risk his well-being, and I wasn't going to risk us wrecking the car and injuring both of us in the process. I mean, I already had one head injury. I wasn't looking to double down and get another one, But I didn't want to risk that either. If I had had any signs of something more serious or potentially serious, then yes, we would have tried, and probably would have called 911 or first responders to see if maybe they could meet us at some point instead of trying to come all the way into where we are, if they could meet us up at the main road or something like that, if that was possible. But that was a thought that I had, was if we had to go to do something like that, I don't know if it would have even been possible, quite frankly, because first responders were having a difficult time getting around as well, and they were sliding off roads as well. But anyway, so that did happen, and that was the decision that I made at the time. It was a scary decision. It was a scary situation, and I'm not even going to lie, my stomach felt like it just dropped right out of my body when I had the realization. Right after I thought, oh, I've got a concussion, the immediate thought after that was, there's no help. No one's coming. And that's what I thought. I thought that a couple of times, actually. I kind of ran that through my head a couple of times. We can't get out. No one can get in. No one is coming. No one is coming. It's just me. And so I knew I had to rely on what training I had from the past to take care of myself and hope that I was doing the right thing and that my assessment was correct and that everything was going to be okay until maybe I could get some help. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'll be posting a couple of more taking us through to the other side of Winter Storm Uri. This is part of a day-by-day series of videos leading up to, going through, and coming out the other side of Winter Storm Uri, and how we as preppers here in our house fared during that time here in Texas. I am recording these after the fact because at the time I didn't have enough battery to be able to continuously record, edit, and upload to YouTube while everything was going on. So instead I kept pencil and paper diary or notes every day of what we'd done, what was going on, how we felt, and just general observations. And I did that with the intention of making these videos afterwards. So these are a series of pictures with voiceover. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please leave it in the comment section below and I'll be glad to respond. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Until next time, stay sweet.